Five Guys is one of the most popular restaurants in the United States. With over 250,000 possible ways to order a burger, the restaurant has earned the reputation of being the best burger joint in the country. Interestingly, Five Guys has a limited product offering. Still, the company made a staggering $831 million in revenue in the year 2016. So how did the company rise to become a direct challenger to industry giants like McDonald's and Wendy's? That's what we'll be looking at in today's video. The story of Five Guys starts with a man named Jerry Murrell. Jerry Murrell was born on the 17th of August, 1944 in Alpena, Michigan. His father worked at some menial jobs in a car factory. He was also a stunt pilot on the side. His mother was a saleswoman for Stanley Home Product, which was a supplier of mops, brushes, and household cleaning items. As a child, he had a knack for making homemade dishes. According to Murrell, he would get up early on summer mornings, ride down to the brook, and catch some trout. He would cook them up for breakfast. Unfortunately, this knack for cooking couldn't become an ambition for him, at least not in his mind. His mother offered no support to his cooking skills, constantly chastising him, telling him that if he didn't study, he'd end up flipping burgers somewhere. If only she knew. Jerry Murrell attended the Alpena Community College for 2 years before heading to the University of Michigan. While at university, Jerry needed cash to pay his tuition, and so he got a job running a kitchen belonging to a frat house. While he was in college, a huge tragedy befell him. His father died. He finally graduated in 1967 with a degree in economics. He then found a job with a life insurance company called AXA Equitable. Jerry Murrell later confessed that his heart was not into the job. The next few years were going to be tough for Jerry. Jerry soon got married to the love of his life, and together they bore 3 sons, Jim, Matt, and Chad. Jerry then lost his mother, but it didn't end there. A few years after, his marriage hit the rocks. Now, Jerry was staring down a divorce. Unfortunately, the divorce went ahead as planned. After the divorce, Jerry got shared custody of the boys. By 1974, Jerry decided it was time to move. Together with his 3 sons, Jerry moved to Northern Virginia. That was where he found love again in the eyes of a woman named Janie Androzek. Their love was so strong that by 1981, they were married. By 1983, they welcomed their first son, Ben. By 1986, Jerry's older sons were about to round up high school. But the boys didn't fancy the idea of going to college. One day, Jerry's 2 oldest sons, Jim and Matt, came up to him and said they didn't want to go to college. Unlike many parents, Jerry didn't freak out. He didn't get mad or even try to guilt trip them into going to college. Rather, he thought about how he could support them fully. Matt did this because he wanted his entire family to be close. He didn't want them to end up like his own family, where they were not as close as Jerry would have liked. And so he reached with his sons. He would use the money he saved up for their college to start a burger joint. The burger joint idea seems nice from far, but in truth, it was a very bold move. The fast food market was already dominated by industry heavyweights like Wendy's, Burger King, and McDonald's, but Jerry was unfazed. Looking back, many would have considered that decision to be a foolish one. Now, while Jerry Murrell had studied economics at college, he was no business guru. While he was up for the idea, it was natural that Jerry still had his doubts. However, just a few days before they launched, Jerry had an experience that dispelled all of his doubts. Matt, still a stocks and bonds trader, went to Pittsburgh for a meeting. While in his hotel room, he found a book about J. Willard Marriott, the man who converted his A&W stand into the Hot Shops chain. In the book, J.W. Marriott claimed that so long as you had a great product, with a reasonable price, and a clean place, you could make money in the food business. That statement stuck with Jerry his whole life. It even shaped some of his business philosophies that were responsible for the huge future success of his restaurant. The college tuition was a little less than $70,000. With college out of the way, all of that money would now be used to purchase their first store. The Murrells took their inspiration from a restaurant named Thrasher's in Ocean City. Unlike most joints that sold boardwalk fries, Thrasher's had a consistent 150-foot line. What made Thrasher's special was the fact that even though it only sold fries, they made sure to cook them well, using high-quality potatoes and peanut oil. Thrasher's gave the Murrells the confidence to open their first takeout store in Arlington, Virginia. Now, the family had a business, but they still needed a name. One day, while discussing with his lawyer, Chad came up with the name of the restaurant. Jerry always wanted the restaurant to be a family business, and so he named the business Five Guys. In the beginning, the family did something rather ingenious. To make sure they had a winning product, they put their first store in a somewhat discreet location. The idea was that if anyone came into the store, they would be sure that their restaurant was a winner. The restaurant got off to a rather slow start. This was partly because of Jerry's marketing strategy. Jerry relied heavily on word-of-mouth marketing. In fact, he says that the best salesman is our customer. Treat that person right, he'll walk out the door and sell for you. This is exactly what the Murrells did. They put most of their money into their food, and this soon paid off. In fact, they had to make some sacrifices for their business philosophy. They chose to use simple red and white decor. They also refused to do deliveries. Not long after they had opened, the Pentagon called and ordered 15 hamburgers. They now asked when the burgers would be delivered. Surprisingly, the receiver told the Pentagon over the phone that Five Guys didn't do deliveries. The man hung up. Shortly after, Mr. Murrell received a call from one of the admirals in charge at the Pentagon. The admiral said, "Mr. Murrell, everyone delivers to the Pentagon." Mr. Murrell politely refused, restating his company's policy on deliveries. To make sure that their policy on deliveries was clear to everyone, Jerry and his son Matt got a 22-foot banner with the words, "Absolutely no delivery," and hung it just outside their store. After a while, the family business began to grow. The business also worked on its product offerings. At the start, they offered only hamburgers and fries. Soon, customers started asking for coffee. Jerry and his sons then went ahead with the idea. Sadly, their employees at the time knew very little about coffee. The result was that the coffee they served was awful. Jerry and his sons decided to remove coffee from their menu. They also tried chicken sandwiches, but that too failed. Five Guys then decided to focus on making their hamburgers and fries, and that became their company's trademark. Jerry's sons were thinking about how to expand the business. They didn't have enough cash to open new stores. Opening a new store, at that time, cost about $300,000 or $400,000, and they couldn't get the money from a bank because most banks thought it was a crazy idea to challenge the brands like McDonald's and Wendy's. Jerry's sons now looked to franchising to help expand their business. Unfortunately, there was another obstacle in their way. This time, the obstacle was Jerry himself. He was against the franchising idea from the start because he believed that it would cause them to lose control of the quality of their products. His kids were hell-bent on franchising, so they would not stand down. To change his mind, the kids introduced their father to a book called Franchising for Dummies. Little did they know that this book was the key to the brand's future international success. At that time, they only had 5 stores in the whole country, all of which were based in North Virginia. By 2002, Five Guys had started selling franchises. In just 3 days, they had sold franchises in Virginia. By early 2003, Five Guys started expanding rapidly. Thanks to franchising, the company started getting recognition from the restaurant trade organizations and the press. Towards the end of 2004, Five Guys now had over 300 new units scattered throughout the Northeast. Although business was booming rapidly, the Murrells still had issues they had to resolve. One of the major issues they faced was fighting among the brothers. I remember pulling up one time to a store opening and seeing 2 of my sons fighting outside with a broom and a mop, says Murrell. The infighting gradually reduced as each of his sons gravitated towards an aspect of the business they were personally interested. And luckily, each of them had different interests. One thing that made Five Guys stand out was its style of management the company adopted. Jerry made sure to treat all of his kids as his partners. Whenever there was a decision to be made, they would all vote on it. Decisions were only made when a consensus had been reached. The company also had an unmatched devotion to the quality of its food. The Murrells only accepted the best ingredients for their food. Sometimes they would go to great lengths to make sure that they only used the highest quality ingredients. The company also dropped ads and promos in favor of rewarding high-performing employees. These attributes contributed to the immense growth of their business, from having 5 stores in 2002 to over 1,000 locations in 2012. Now, they have stores in the United States, United Kingdom, Europe, the Middle East, and Asia. As they expanded in number, Jerry made sure the company was careful not to add new products to its menu. This, he feared, could kill business by having less than awesome products alongside their great tasting hamburger and fries. This has helped the Five Guys franchises to remain uniform in the top quality products they serve. Jerry Murrell and his sons show us the power of being daring in the face of adversity. Many people told the Murrells that their restaurant business could stand the fierce competition of the restaurant market. Many, including banks, told them to let go of their dream. The Murrells were sure things were going to be difficult. However, they knew that if they took bold risks, they would be repaid. If you want to hear more inspiring stories about people whose drive and determination led them to change the world, then make sure you subscribe to the channel and leave a like and a comment down below.